What's going on, people? Finally got the video out for the steel clash impact test between the 4V, REX45 and M4. First, what I started off with to kick things off was batoning them through a handmade dowel. Handmade dowels made of the over century old barn board. Still got plenty of pieces left from that. Each one passed the test, and really and truly what that test is for was just to simply make sure that after receiving my sharpening, that they didn't go through that certain things weren't left behind, such as a wire edge or the apex, the edges weren't apex properly. So that's why the wooden dowel test came to play. Sorry about this, I got a little bit of a cold going on. But yes. Now the next test that I will show you is the true test. That's the real test that defines the toughness of each of these steels. And the test that I portrayed, the particular test that I came up with, it's designed to damage the edge. It wasn't designed to perceive any of these impervious or insufferable. No, the test that I came up with was designed to damage the edge. What I was looking for in particular was the graduation of that damage. So go with each tree, and I have a close-up or macro footage of the damage of each of these. And before anybody asks, each one is tested more than once. Each one is tested twice, just to make sure that the first bit's not a fluke, because sometimes you can get a blade that's more so hardened on one section than the other. You might have a soft blade near the heel of the edge, or soft blade near the tip. It can happen. Sometimes it does happen. So that's why I tested them more than once, and I will be showing you the footage of each one and describing it as it goes along. Now the first one you see is the 4V. That's the damage that it took on. The next one that you see here is the M4. And the last one that you see here is the REX45. Now, I wasn't able to get a good enough picture to depict the damage precisely. I know, I'm still new to camera lighting and all that business, which is why I brought the stuff on paper, just to show you exactly how that damage went. Now if you look very closely with the 4V, the damage went up to a certain degree and just stayed at a certain level until the wire is severed. Before that, forgot to mention the fact that the wire that I cut is 0.5 millimeter thick wire, and it is 316L stainless steel. It's not copper, it's not brass, it's 316L stainless steel. And the way I set up the test is that the blade would press into the metal, but also chop through the wood that I was using as a platform. Now, had I gone with a much more solid surface, then yeah, more than likely it would just be like one of those, like, oh yeah, severs it. But no, I made this test so that the wire, as the blade digs into it, forms a V shape. And as it forms that V shape, sitting deep within the wood, it actually creates a certain type of tensile strength for the wire, making it harder for the blades to actually like go through the wire itself. So test results for the 4V is, this is the straight edge, and the part that was chopping into the wire goes up but then stays there. It remains stable. The damage is no longer going any deeper. Then you have the M4, where it starts to become a bit stable but then hits a hump, but then still maintains itself. The REX45 received even further damage than the rest of them, as the damage graduated. And like I said, the test is all about the graduation of the damage, not whether or not the steel was damaged, because like I said, the test was set up to damage the edge, damage it. So REX45 showed the most damage. What I can say with 4V, yes, it sustained some damage, micro damage, but as I mentioned before, the damage isn't going to go any deeper, which gives me the indication that 4V and even M4, if brought to a steeper angle, and I've sharpened all these knives the same way, sharpened them to a 16 degree per side. If the 4V or M4 were sharpened to perhaps 20 degrees per side, for example, or even 18 degrees per side, would have a much stronger hold, much stronger resistance. And yeah, that's the steel clash, the impact test. And I know a lot of people like kind of look at these things like, oh, my knife should be impervious because it's in this particular steel or whatnot. That's not the case. It's how much damage it's able to resist. That is the primary point of using tough steels, or any steel for that matter. So you should never go about this thinking that, oh, your edge shouldn't crumple or deform or compact or depress. You should always be mindful that the apex of the edge is always going to be, that's a very slim portion of the edge. And the better you practice knife control, the better that edge will remain. The better you can sustain that edge. And that's the point. But overall, test results: 4V, leader of the pack. Second place, M4. Third place, REX45. And it shouldn't be any surprise to anybody that REX45 was last, because REX45 is the predecessor is a more robust predecessor to M4. It is M3 with an addition of cobalt, which is a bit of a steroid. But nonetheless, it is not a successor to M4 by any means in terms of toughness. And hopefully this test further proves that. And this is direct impact. This is not slicing into malleable alloy and then plucking it. This is direct impact. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out. And personally, if I were to choose any of these in terms of long-lasting edge that can help me out in a pinch, obviously 4V is going to be the winner there. But then after the 4V, M4, REX45, anybody who could be good with either one. And if you're just having a random toss up as to which one would serve you in terms of what you're doing, whether it's outdoors in the wilderness, doing bushcraft, or in a survival situation, either one of these will serve you very well. Obviously 4V is going to serve you the most. REX45, in terms of REX45, not too many of us have many knives in this steel to conduct further conclusions. So as far as that's concerned, REX45 is still a mystery to most of us. But in terms of on paper and in pertainance to the tests that I've conducted, REX45, it's a more robust M3, but will still remain the predecessor, or living in the shadow of the predecessor to the M4. Hopefully this video helped you out, and yeah. Okay people, I'm out.